But the girls announced it on stage that Mel B was getting married tomorrow. Yes, the very next day. I was stunned and confused once again. How can she get married the day after a concert in Sheffield? Anyway, it was true. So it felt like a really special concert to be at because of that. Welcome to my new series, Spice Unwrapped. Each episode we dive into one special item from my collection, exploring what it is, fun facts, fascinating insights from a superfan, and the story behind it, including its history and what it means to me. Let's unwrap that legendary spice magic together. If you'd like to support me so I can continue to make content like this, please like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. It's totally free and genuinely helps me continue. Thank you. Let's unwrap today's item and discover its provenance. Stick around to the end to find out why this one is really so close to my heart. These are my first ever Spice Girls concert tickets. I wasn't aware of how to get tickets to their earlier UK shows in April 1998, as I wasn't in their mailing list or fan club at that point. But these stadium concerts went on general sale, and luckily I got to go. And the memory is super special to me.
We've come to a point now where we just feel that it's time to move on. And so obviously we're going to be doing it at Wembley Arena, which is absolutely fantastic. And that'll be
we have now decided to do
Wembley Stadium! Yeah. That's it. We want people from all over the world to come and see this.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's a rejoicement of Britain. We're back in Britain, from this world tour. Even if you don't like the Spice Girls, you're going to be entertained and it's going to be fun.
I had these tickets when they went on sale in April, so when Geri left in May, I naively felt assured the band would continue because they had to fulfill these tickets to their September dates. Of course, they could have ended the band and canceled those dates, but that never crossed my mind in 1998. So I was shocked by Geri's departure, but as I had these tickets, and my beloved Mel B was still in the band, I didn't go through that really upset phase many fans went through when Geri left. And yes, of course, she's on these tickets and the publicity images as she was in the band when these went on sale. These photos are really nice shots of the girls on stage during this tour. Although they're in their vibrant stage costumes, they seem somehow grown up compared to previous photography. What do you think? So, let's get to the concert. On the 12th of September 1998, my auntie took me to see my favorite band, the Spice Girls, at a huge stadium in Sheffield. Being a Leeds boy, this was my nearest concert, but it still required a fairly lengthy but exciting trip in my auntie's car to the gig. As we pulled up and parked in the huge adjoining car park, I could hear Bjorn again playing as the support act. I don't remember seeing Cleopatra at all, but they were there, so perhaps I arrived after their performance. The smell of cheap chips in those polystyrene cups wafted across the stadium and through the gates. I recall seeing posters for Mel B's solo single I Want You Back on lampposts as I walked to the stadium. A clever marketing opportunity, as the single was released on the following Monday. As we entered, my auntie asked me if I wanted anything from the merch stand. I remember seeing their new logo, that italic space age type silver font, and thinking it's inside the venue so it must be official, but also feeling quite confused and suspicious of it. We bought one anyway. It felt huge at the time, and I believe it is their biggest tour book to date. I remember contemplating getting their 1999 calendar, which was also on sale, and halfway through the concert during a break when the girls weren't on stage, I went to a merch stand in the center of the stadium, but they'd sold out. We take our seats. The crowd erupts. That epic intro begins, and the Spice Girls spaceship heads for planet Earth as snippets of their hits play in outer space. Their smaller craft is released and heads down to the ground. The music starts, spice letters appear, and the doors open to reveal my 4 heroes, standing in front of me. I was quite near the back of the stadium floor seating area, so they looked quite tiny, but nevertheless they were there, and I could just make out their 4 silhouettes. We were together, breathing the same air. I was just in complete awe. The concert was amazing, but a bit of a blur due to my excitement. I remember it being daylight till quite late, but it was super freezing considering it was only September. I also recall Emma, Victoria, and Mel C making Jimmy Gulzar go down on one knee on stage and ask Mel B to marry him. They were already engaged, and rumors that they were marrying soon had been all over the media. But the girls announced it on stage that Mel B was getting married tomorrow. Yes, the very next day. I was stunned and confused once again. How can she get married the day after a concert in Sheffield? Anyway, it was true. So it felt like a really special concert to be at because of that. When I got back to my auntie's house, I clutched my tour book, flicking through it till I fell asleep, with my auntie's adorable cat Max affectionately sitting with me on the bed. My auntie sadly passed away too young around 10 years after this, but the memory of her taking me to my first ever concert will live with me forever. And having her ticket with mine is a really important way for me to treasure her in that experience. Isn't it amazing how much a couple of pieces of paper can mean? I have recently acquired a concert ticket to the same concert a week later at London's Wembley Stadium. You know that famous final show that was broadcast on Sky and released on VHS? And this one still has its stubs somehow. In the next episode, I look at something super rare, a real keepsake that only a handful of people received. Don't miss it. My channel celebrates all things Spice Girls, so check out my catalog of videos that are ready for you to enjoy. Subscribe to my channel for updates, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay spicy.